All right, so in this lesson, 5.6, our math goal is to dividing decimal numbers by whole numbers. So write down anything you know about that and then come back to me on your math notebook. Write it down in your math notebook. Okay, so let's take a look at our first problem. Divide decimal numbers by whole numbers. Three friends set up a lemonade stand and made $20.25. They will share the money equally. How much money should each person get? So first of all, stop the video and see if you can figure out why this is division and then come back to me. Okay, so hopefully you said we have a total. They made $20.25. They will share the money equally, right? If you're sharing equally, you're dividing it up. How much will each person get, right? You're dividing it up. So let's set the problem up. So do it with me. Write it down in your math notebook. So this is $20.25 divided by 3. Okay, so if you know how to do regular division, this is the same thing. So 3 doesn't go into 2, right? So then I got to look at the 20. 3 goes into 20. How many times? 3 times 6, right? Because 3 times 6 is 18. So let's take a look at that. We put a 6 here, and this is a minus 18. And remember, I put the 6 here because that's the last digit that I divided into. I have 0, I can't take away 8, got to borrow. Makes it a 1. 10 take away 8 is 2. 1 take away 1 is 0. Is 2 less than 3? Yes, then I did it right. Okay, so then 3 goes into 2. I'm going to bring down my 2. Then 3 goes into 22. How many times? 3 times 6 was 18. 3 times 7 is 21, right? So 7 times minus 21. It looks like I'm going to run out of room here. Leaves me with a 1. Is 1 less than 3? Yes, then I did it right. Now I'm going to bring down my 5. 3 goes into 15 how many times? 3 times 5, right? 5 minus a 15. I don't think I have room to write here. Equals, sorry, I'm going sideways. It's not letting me write down at the bottom. That should be a 5 there. Okay, now, it's not going to be that each get $675, right? So what do you think I need to do? Because if they only made $20.25, can each person get $675? That doesn't make sense, right? What do you think I need to do? Decimal, right? I forgot my decimal. So the easy thing about this, you have your decimal there, just bring it straight up, and that's where it goes. Same place. So each person's going to make $6.75. Does that sound reasonable? 3 of them, right? That sounds about reasonable. You can always check by multiplying, right? You could always multiply 675 times 3 to see if you get $20.25. If you multiply it out, you'll see that you will, okay? Okay, so when you're dividing decimal numbers by whole numbers, it's only if you have a whole number. If you're dividing by a whole number, you ignore the decimal, just like we just did, divide like normal, divide like you normally would divide, and then bring up the decimal at the very end. Just bring it up exactly where it's at. And that's how you do it. Pretty easy, right? Okay, let's try another one together, or you can do this one by yourself. If you'd like to do that by yourself, go ahead and pause the video and then come back to me for the answer. If you want to do it with me, stay with me. 8 doesn't go into 4, right? So I'm going to look at 47. 8 times what is 47? 8 times 7 is 56. That's too much. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. So it's got to be 8 times 5, right? It's got to be 5. 8 times 5 is 40. So I'm going to subtract my 40. 7 take away 0 is 7. Is 7 less than 8? Yep, I did it right. Bring down my 6. 8 times 9 is 72. So it's got to be a 9 minus 72. 6 take away 2 is 4. Is 4 less than 8? Yep. So I did it right. Bring down my 8. 8 times what is 48? 6 times 8 is 48. Bring up my 6 minus 48. 0, 0. And then what did I forget? Decimal's right there. It's got to go in the exact same spot. So 5 596, 5 and 96 hundredths. It's not dollars anymore, right? Okay. All right, so you try one using any method. 58 and 68 hundredths divided by 9. Pause the video and then come back to me for the answer. Okay, so hopefully you got 6 and 52 hundredths. So 9 goes into 58 6 times, gives me 54. 8 take away 4 is 4. Is 4 less than 9? Yes, so I bring down my 6. 9 goes into 46 5 times. 9 times 5 is 45. 6 take away 5 is 1. Is 1 less than 9? Yes, then I can bring down my 8. 9 goes into 18 2 times, and then I brought up my decimal. Okay. All right, and this works the exact same way as for single digits and double digits. So it's the exact same thing. So if you think you can do this one by yourself, go ahead and stop, pause the video, and then come back to me. If not, stay with me. So 38, right? That rounds to 40. 40, that rounds to 40. Oh, let me make that. Okay, so 38 rounds to 40. And then I'm going to look at the 4. 4 goes into 16 how many times? 4, right? So I'm going to do 38 times 4 to see what I get. 8 times 4 is 32, carry my 3. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15, gives me 152. So yep, that's lower than 161. So I'm going to put 1, 5, 2, and that went in 4 times. And I went into the last number I went into was at 4, so I'm going to put it right above there. Okay, I have 1, I can't take away 2, I got to borrow from the 6. That becomes 5, that becomes 11. 11 take away 2 is 9. 5 take away 5 is 0. 1 take away 1 is 0. Is 9 less than 38? Yep, I did it right. Bring down my 1. 4 goes into 9 how many times? 2 times, right? So I'm going to do 38 times 2 over here. 8 times 2 is 16, carry my 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. It gives me 76. So I'm dividing here, so my 2 goes there, minus 76. 1 take away 6, I can't do. I'm going to borrow, that becomes an 8. 11 take away 6 is 5. 8 take away 7 is 1. Is 15 less than 38? Yep, I did it right. Bring down my 2. Now I'm going to do 4 goes into 15 how many times? 4 times 4 is 16, right? And that gave me, oh, look, I already did it over here, and it was 152. So it is a 4. So I don't even have to do the math. Now what do I do? Last thing, bring up the decimal. 4 and 24 hundredths. See, exact same thing, just bring up the decimal. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so you try one, use any method, and then come back to me for the answer. Okay, so hopefully you got 7 and 35 hundredths. So I did 51, right? Doesn't go into 37, so it's got to be 374. 51 rounds to 50, right? So then I forgot to put my 50 there, that it rounds to 50. So I did 5 times 1 gives me close to 37. 5 times 7 is 35. I did it over here. I got 357. I subtracted. I got 17. 17 is less than 51. Brought down my 8. And then I did 5 times what is going to give me close to 17. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. So I tried 3 over here. So I did 51 times 3 over here. And that gave me 153, subtracted my 153. That gave me 25. 25 is less than 51. So then I brought down my 5, 51. 50 goes into 25 5 times. I did 51 times 5. That gave me 255, and it's exactly what it was. Then I brought up my decimal, right? So write down what you learned today. Proof of learning by solving a problem. So you can either do a single digit or a double digit divisor, but make sure your dividend, make sure that has a decimal in it, okay?